Truth, Peace, Hotep, Bigwick 1961. Just want to do a video on positive and negative energy. Not the principle of masculine and feminine, but more about positive and negative energy. And of course, we know that the masculine is the positive energy and the feminine is the negative energy. Not to say that men are positive and females are negative. It's just once you get into the metaphysics of it, then you'll get a more understanding of it as to why, each is positioned in that particular way. But we're talking about positive and negative energy. A lot of it has to deal with our inner selves. So a lot of times, we go into even into a place where we want to have somebody divine for us, or give us a reading. The best thing that you can do is to cleanse yourself. I mean, a lot of us. No, let me talk about me. I discovered that until I cleansed myself, and it took years to do it. It took me about a good decade, to get to a point where I could see things more clearer, and it had to deal with, moving out a lot of things and positions and, understandings that I thought were good and realized that they were actually negative. I can't really give a good example of it because a lot of it's gone. And, it's not like I want to rehash it, but the thing is that you'll know it when you feel it. It's like things that you looked at and you thought was all right, or, was level, and then you realize that, it's not really level, it's not really right. When you learn about the real exploitation of this world and how people are exploited on a mass basis, it's not like a hippie, environmentalist thing, because it goes beyond that. It's not just the companies that are destroying our communities, through putting chemicals and dumping, but it's also by the fact that we support corporations that are feeding us bad food. And then you ask yourself, well, how do I eat? Now that they've taken over with genetically altered foods, well, until we can get to the point where we can fully break away from that, you're going to have to deal with that negativity, but understand that the less that you use of it, the better off you're going to be. So, through that negative part that we have to deal with, and, it's collectively our own faults. How badly did we really want these things not to happen? It's like even things in your life. I mean, you put yourself in a position where bad things happen. Did you wonder why? How'd that happen to me? Cause and effect. So, there's ways and means in which we can effectually have more positive things happen in our life. And first of all, it's how we think and how we project ourselves. Elder, I was really good at it. Going on, talk, radio talk shows, blog talk, and I can, I'll talk to anybody, and I can sing this and that. It's one elder, he caught me real good, and I was grateful for it, because then I was like, wow, really listen to what you were saying. He's right. Everything you came out your mouth was really negative, passive aggressive talk, and it's like you're saying it smoothly, but you're really, telling what you say about what you're really saying. If you understand what I just said, but that's cool. My thing is that, the best thing I found is that you need to really cleanse yourself. You really need to go in and re-examine all your positions, and not just only make sure that they're positions that help you resolve, the anxieties and the things that can depress you in your life, but also how you deal with people. If you go around negative people and all of a sudden you find yourself yelling at them, one, maybe you shouldn't be talking to them. And two, maybe there's still some work you have to do within yourself, because that negativity button will go off sometimes without you even realizing. You could be walking through the day, and all of a sudden you come upon a negative person, and all of a sudden, boom, it's on and popping. I know I have a warrior spirit, but also my spirit is, I have a compassionate spirit in terms of, I try to look beyond people's conditions and circumstances and say to myself that, but for the grace of God goes on. But in other instances, we are peers, but we don't want to acknowledge it. So the less negativity or negative people that you have around you, the better off you're going to be. But you still have to fill your life with positive outlooks and positive people. You know what I mean? I'm not just talking about people who just overlook, their current conditions and are complacent about it. No. I'm talking about the people who are looking at your current condition, and if given the opportunity to help it or expand it, that they would do that. And those are the people that you really need to have in your life. So, really check yourself. Do the checklist. Look at the things that bother you. Write them down. And then look at how each of those situations or each of those things, if there's a particular person or situation that bothers you with that. And then make the change. Life is about change. Change is inevitable. And how we accept that change is how we're going to transition into the change. So let's take our time. If today, tomorrow, but really, before the end of this year, take the time and take a look at, the things that you've done positive this year. And also the things you've done negative. And then next year, is a year to be positive. I can't tell you why, but positive things will happen if you act and think positively. Love, light, and peace.